Several years ago, I built this quick and cheap rolling workbench out of 2x4s, and while it's a sturdy work surface, the storage is suboptimal. I'm working on redesigning a corner of the shop, and I'd like to free up some wall space, so I'm going to rebuild the base of this unit to have a bunch of drawers and maximize the storage. I'm using one sheet of 3/4 inch plywood for the main box and drawer fronts, and then a sheet of 1/2 inch plywood for the drawers, plus a few scraps because one sheet was just shy of what I needed. I use my track saw to cut down the 3/4 inch sheet into pieces to make up the cabinet box. You can do this step with a basic circular saw, you just need a straight edge to give yourself a crisp and accurate cut. The cabinet box of this workbench is gonna measure 38.5 inches long by 22 inches deep and 29 inches tall, but it can easily be adjusted to fit your needs. With all the cabinet box pieces cut, I drilled some pocket holes along the inside of the side and middle pieces and then glued and screwed them all into place. Sometimes boards can shift when using pocket screws, so if you want to use a couple of brads to hold the pieces in place, that's a nice little trick that I do sometimes. For the bottom of the cabinet, I'm just going to use a couple of strips of plywood along the front, back, and middle, but in full transparency, that's just because I didn't have enough material. If you want to go a little beefier, a full plywood bottom would definitely make this stronger. Hopefully this will hold up for me, but if it doesn't, I'll just reinforce it in the future. I learned the hard way that cheap casters are a mistake with workshop furniture, so I got some quality ones when I made this originally. Since they're held in place with screws, they're really easy to move to the new cart, and I saved myself a little bit of money. The top of my existing workbench is a solid 3-inch block of laminated 2x4s, so I'm going to reuse it, and to do that, I just removed it from the old cart and secured it to the new one using 2-inch pocket screws. Okay, time to move on to the drawers, and I started by cutting the bottoms out of 3/4 inch plywood, and I'm making 4 different depths ranging from 3 to 8 inches. This workbench will have 8 drawers in total, with the 2 sides being perfectly symmetrical. I'm planning on the varying sizes being able to store most of the random workshop stuff that one would otherwise lose forever in the back of the cabinet. To assemble the drawers, I'm using just a little bit of glue, brads, and simple butt joints, which I think is going to be plenty strong. If any of them come loose over time, I might come back and add a few screws, but honestly, I think these will hold up just fine. With all the drawers built, I spaced them out somewhat evenly in the cabinet box, and once I was happy with the layout, I marked the bottom of each drawer along the cabinet box so I knew where to install my drawer slides. I also confirmed that the leftover pieces of 3/4 inch plywood would work for drawer fronts, and thankfully they will. I'm using 18-inch full extension drawer slides, and these aren't cheap, but if you buy them in bulk, they do become a little more reasonable. There's a few different ways to install these, but I like to keep the 2 pieces of the slides together and first install them on the inside of the cabinet. Cutting a couple support pieces at the exact height that you want them gives you a third hand, but be sure to secure at least one of them with a clamp. I like the slides to come about just to the front of the box so that when the drawer is attached, it will pull snug and fully shut. Each of these slides is a 1/2 inch thick, so you just need to make sure that your drawer is 1 inch less than the opening of your cabinet box. I installed all the slides inside the cabinet and then came back and installed the drawers using the same spacing as I figured out earlier. I started with the bottom drawer and just extended the slide to the front and then drove in the first screw on each side. I pulled the drawer out a little more, and then I drove in the second screw, and then finally the last screws, and if you do it right, the drawer should perfectly slide into place. For the drawer fronts, I cut the 3/4 inch plywood to size, accounting for a little bit of an overhang and an 1/8 inch clearance between each drawer. Again, I started at the bottom and I used a couple of squeeze clamps to hold the drawer front in place and then secured it to the drawer with 4 screws through the back. You can do whatever you want for this last step, but for the poles, I'm using a 1" by 6" strip of plywood with the edges knocked off to make it a little bit easier to grab. I came up with this simple design a few years ago for my table saw cart, so I thought I'd carry it forward to this as well. And again, I installed these to the drawer fronts just using a couple of screws through the back. With this additional storage, I moved several items from this cabinet to the new workbench, and in a little bit I'll tell you more about my plan with this part of the shop. All right, so now that I've got this workbench done, let me show you what I'm thinking about for this corner of the shop. As you can see, I've got my dust collector up here, and I've got a makeshift dust separator right here. It's not really that efficient, and Rockler now makes a new dust separator that hangs on the wall. I think will be a lot better system combined with this unit here. I've got some random stuff in here like some hunting and fishing gear that I don't really use all that often, so I think I can move that to a different part of the garage. Now that I've got the upper part of this cabinet all cleared out, I think what I can do is cut this in half and extend the workbench all the way over to the end of the garage here. What that's going to do is allow me to move this dust collector right here, the dust separator I just talked about right here, and then that is going to give me the ability to move my French cleat system over probably about 18 inches or so, maybe even 2 feet, giving me a lot more storage in this side of the shop. I might end up getting rid of this laser. I haven't quite decided yet. I don't use it all that often. If you're in the Nashville area and you're in the market for a laser, let me know. I'm also thinking about doing something different with this miter saw station. So right now I've got it on these slides and it comes out, and that works okay. But I've got an old shop vac under here that does an all right job of collecting dust, but I'm thinking about maybe making this into one unit that's completely modular so I can move it to different parts of the shop if needed. Right now it's effectively stationary. You can see here I was able to move this planer to this stand here, which holds my drum sander. This is a lot more effective use of the space because there's not really much I could put under here. You can't really build drawers under something like this. But now you can see this planer fits under here. Now all my material surfacing tools are right here on this one unit that I can roll out when I need it and put it away when I don't. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really happy with the way this mobile workbench worked out. If you like videos like this, hit the subscribe and like button and let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.